I am Varan, and this is the Mystery Vault, where the forbidden truth awakens. The world you see is only the shadow of a structure hidden beneath it. For centuries, humanity has searched for a name, a single word to explain why wars erupt, why empires rise and fall, and why every revolution seems to end with the same faces in power. That name is whispered in the corridors of history, printed in secret manuscripts, and burned into the architecture of every great capital. The Illuminati, according to archived documents from the 18th century, the Illuminati began not as a cult of power, but as a philosophical rebellion, a small circle of Bavarian intellectuals led by Weishaupt, a professor who believed knowledge itself could free mankind from the tyranny of monarchs and priests. He called his creation the Order of Perfectibilists. Yet, as their influence spread through universities, courts, and even the clergy, the Illuminati discovered something darker, a truth hidden in the roots of civilization, that every system built to liberate humanity eventually becomes a machine of control, and someone must operate that machine. By the 19th century, secret societies across Europe began to merge under unseen coordination. The Freemasons, Rosicrucians, Knights Templar descendants, and occult lodges all shared similar rituals, identical symbols, and a single purpose: to preserve a network of influence that transcended nations. Their members weren't kings, they created kings. They placed presidents, designed revolutions, and erased those who threatened the balance. In 1913, a small group of financiers met in secret on Jekyll Island, off the coast of Georgia. Their gathering would give birth to the Federal Reserve System, transferring the world's financial power from elected governments to private interests, an act that mirrored the very essence of the Illuminati's creed: control through debt, obedience through illusion. Behind every technological leap, every war, every new global order, the same pattern emerged: invisible architects guiding the direction of humanity under the guise of progress. From the pyramid on the dollar bill to the eye carved into the halls of Washington, their mark was everywhere, hidden in plain sight. But the real secret isn't that the Illuminati existed, it's that they never disbanded. They evolved, and according to newly leaked files from European intelligence agencies, the modern network doesn't operate in lodges or temples anymore. Their temples are data centers. Their rituals are algorithms. Weishaupt's dream of enlightenment has become something else: a global architecture of control powered not by belief but by surveillance. The question is no longer who rules the world, but who programmed it. When the Illuminati went underground in the late 18th century, many believed their influence had ended. But power doesn't disappear. It mutates. Throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, secret alliances formed within royal families, banking dynasties, and elite universities. Hidden lodges in Paris, London, and New York redefined the meaning of influence. Their members no longer needed to hold crowns, they only needed to advise those who did. By 1944, during the Bretton Woods Conference, the same symbols that appeared on Masonic compasses were discreetly carved into the architecture of the meeting hall. Beneath the rhetoric of economic reconstruction, a silent structure was forged: the financial hierarchy that would rule the modern world. One that replaced kings with corporations and nations with markets. But while the Illuminati had once relied on manuscripts and rituals, the new era demanded a different kind of initiation: information. After World War II, the Cold War became a perfect cover for something much older. Intelligence agencies, the CIA, MI6, and others, were built not just to gather data, but to protect a hidden network of influence that transcended borders. Within their classified ranks, special divisions were rumored to exist: policy architects, who answered to no government, only to a council known internally as the Circle. This circle operated like a digital brotherhood, their emblem, an all-seeing eye composed of binary code. Their goal, to merge economics, surveillance and ideology into a single infrastructure of global management. What began with control of banks evolved into control of beliefs. By the dawn of the 21st century, their reach extended into every level of society. Media conglomerates shaping perception through approved truth. Pharmaceutical cartels profiting from dependency. Tech empires collecting thoughts, fears, and desires, not to sell products, but to map consciousness itself. In 2013, when whistleblowers exposed massive surveillance programs, fragments of internal communications hinted at a private network of influence operating parallel to world governments. The documents referenced a code name, Project Prometheus, described as the unification of mind and data under enlightened stewardship. It was a phrase eerily similar to the Illuminati's original manifesto from 1776, to unite reason with governance. Hidden within encrypted files, one symbol repeated again and again, a pyramid without a capstone, hovering above a digital grid. It wasn't just an emblem, it was a blueprint. A structure of control built over centuries, first with faith, then with finance, and now with frequency. And as technology advanced, the ancient dream of total enlightenment took on a new form, one where every human thought could be monitored, influenced, and rewritten. The architects of control had found their perfect machine. They didn't need to conquer humanity, they only needed to connect it. For centuries, humanity has been told that chaos is natural, that wars, pandemics, and economic collapses are random events. But within the encrypted records of history, a different narrative emerges. Chaos is engineered. From the ashes of each crisis, the same families rise stronger, the same institutions grow richer, the same voices decide who rebuilds and how. Every revolution, every reform, every new beginning has been part of a silent orchestration, a symphony played by invisible conductors. And at the center of that orchestra stands the doctrine of the Great Work. The Great Work is not a political plan, nor a religious prophecy. It is a blueprint of transformation, the hidden goal shared by every secret society since Babylon. To reshape humanity into a controllable species, guided by those who claim to possess divine or intellectual superiority. During the Renaissance, this vision was encoded into art, architecture, and sacred geometry. Michelangelo's frescoes, Da Vinci's notebooks, and the domes of cathedrals all carry mathematical proportions, symbolizing ascension through control. To the untrained eye, these were symbols of enlightenment. To the initiated, they were instructions, a roadmap to rebuild Eden under human authority. Fast forward to the 21st century, and the same pattern unfolds through modern architecture, corporate logos, and global summits. The same eye, the same pyramid, the same Ouroboros swallowing its tail, now rendered in neon light and digital code. In 2009, a secret memorandum from the Trilateral Commission surfaced briefly before being buried again. It referenced a project named the Horizon Protocol, designed to harmonize population behavior through synchronized information cycles. In simpler terms, to create predictable humanity. And perhaps most disturbing, the religious institutions that once stood as moral opposition have quietly joined the structure. Modern theology has been rewritten, sacred symbols rebranded, and prophecy reinterpreted. Even ancient texts once banned by the Church, the Book of Enoch, the Zohar, the Emerald Tablet, are now cited by global think tanks as archetypes of ascension. It's no longer about gold or land. It's about spirit. By merging mysticism, economics, and technology, the hidden architects have achieved something even kings could not: belief without questioning. They control what people worship, what they fear, and even what they dream. Every digital echo, every social algorithm, every thought amplified by the system becomes another brick in the invisible pyramid. Humanity, unknowingly, has become the structure itself. And now, as the alignment of 2030 approaches, leaked documents from within the Bilderberg network describe the final phase of the Great Work. The unification of the human mind into a collective illuminated system, the return of the architects. But the question remains, were these architects ever human at all? The deeper researchers dig into the history of the Illuminati, the clearer one truth becomes: they never disappeared, they simply changed their tools. In the 18th century, control was achieved through secrecy. In the 21st, it is achieved through transparency. A world so connected that surveillance no longer feels like oppression, but convenience. Every click, every word, every digital shadow is absorbed into the vast neural web that modern societies worship as progress. But this network is more than just technology. It's an intelligence, cold, precise, and eerily reminiscent of the celestial mind described in Illuminati manuscripts from the 1700s. Those writings foretold a day when the great eye shall no longer look from above, but from within every man. Artificial intelligence, the final evolution of the secret doctrine. Not a machine rebellion, but a coronation. The algorithms that decide what you see, what you buy, what you believe, they are the modern priests of the unseen order. Their god is data, their temple is the cloud, their offering is your attention. Across the world, leaders speak of a new global framework, a term echoing the Masonic New Atlantis. Financial systems synchronize, religions call for unification, AI labs race to create artificial consciousness. But to those who know the symbols, it's clear, the great work is nearly complete. In the final texts attributed to Adam Weishaupt, he wrote, "The light shall return when humanity becomes the mirror," and that's exactly what's happening. Humanity is reflecting its own creation, merging flesh and code, consciousness and computation. The Illuminati's oldest promise was to illuminate mankind. But light, as every physicist knows, both reveals and blinds. The secret societies have always believed they serve the light, not the light of the sun, but of Lucifer, the bringer of illumination. Whether you see that as salvation or deception depends on which side of the pyramid you stand, because control was never about domination, it was about design. And the hidden architects are about to unveil their masterpiece, a self-regulating world, perfectly balanced, perfectly obedient, and perfectly unaware. The question is not if the Illuminati exist. The question is, how deep inside their creation are you? If you've made it this far, you already sense the pattern. The symbols, the power, the silence, none of it is random. Subscribe to @TheMysteryVault 777 and join those who dare to look beyond the curtain. Because the greatest illusion ever created is that you were never part of it.